Well, the state of Kansas hitting the big pharma's Pfizer with a lawsuit, claiming the company, quote, misled the public that it had a safe and effective COVID-19 vaccine, even though it knew it was connected to serious adverse events. I'm quoting there. It hid that information from the public.
Kansas Attorney General Kris Kobach says that Pfizer violated the state's Consumer Protection Act, and he joins us now. It's so great to have you on the program to talk about this finally. All these years after, there were vaccine mandates, and that was something that this, administration really pushed hard. For those of us who wanted to come to work and weren't necessarily on board, you had to get a shot or you couldn't make a living. So there's a lot at stake here, and I want you to just kind of lay out the case that you're making.
Yeah, you present a great scenario. Some employers mandated the vaccine. Other people had to make a decision whether they wanted to get the vaccine or not. And when people made that decision to get the vaccine, then they had to make a choice. And people made that choice very quickly with anxiety. Many people who chose to get the vaccine did so sensing that it was urgent and they had to do it for their own safety. And in that situation, it was crucial that the pharmaceutical companies speak truthfully and present all information that they have. And this consumer protection suit against Pfizer is based on the fact that they had information that was contrary to what they were saying publicly. And I can just give you two examples. One is for pregnant women. Pfizer stated and advertised that it was that the vaccine was safe for pregnant women. But as early as October of 2020, they had evidence from a study that they did on rats showing real complications for pregnancy. And then in February of 2021, they had information from 458 women who took the Pfizer vaccine, and the majority of them had complications relating to pregnancy. And then the other one is myocarditis. The CEO of Pfizer publicly stated that there was no link between any myocarditis and the COVID vaccine, when in fact they knew that there was a link. So it's, the bottom line is people can't be lied to. And this suit isn't about, someone suing the company.
Forgive me, AG, but didn't the federal government essentially give them the golden keys of immunity from prosecution when developing not just Pfizer, but all the pharma companies that were working? I'm just wondering if we should be suing the federal government instead of Pfizer, because they were given this free, easy way to make money, not having to worry about lawsuits.
Well, one could certainly argue that the federal government's hands weren't clean either, but the federal government did give them immunity from tort lawsuits, from a person who was injured from the vaccine suing the company. However, the federal government did not give them liability if they committed a deceptive or misleading practice in advertising their product to consumers. And that's what the basis of this suit is.
We also want to get to this while we have you, AG. You've taken up the fight against Biden's student loan bailouts. But earlier this month, a judge shot you down along with 7 other states. In his ruling, he claimed, quote, these plaintiffs simply have no skin in the game. Their answer to Justice Scalia's colloquial expression of standing, what's it to you, is this: it's nothing. Your reaction?
Yeah, so that case is still in front of the judge. We have a coalition of states, and the judge said that 3 states had enough skin in the game, if you will, and that the rest of the states, Kansas included, only had the loss of tax revenue. And the judge said that wasn't enough injury to the states. We disagree with that particular holding, but the case continues, and we're awaiting a decision on a preliminary injunction motion from that judge, which we hope to see before the end of the month. So the case is very much alive. The question is just which states have standing.
But the big picture here, the one that we cannot forget, is the Supreme Court already, we all thought, decided in Nebraska versus Biden that the President of the United States, without the approval of Congress, could not be spending hundreds of billions of dollars on essentially a move to become, to use it as campaign cash to get the young voters for him. And they nixed it, but he went ahead, he keeps going ahead and doing essentially the same thing. Can't you formulate another Nebraska versus Biden lawsuit against the federal government, against Biden in particular?
Yeah, that's exactly what this Kansas lawsuit is, leading a coalition of states. We're basically telling the court, hey, look, the Supreme Court in Nebraska versus Biden already said you can't do this. Now the Department of Education under Biden is just tweaking it a little bit and saying, okay, how about if we forgive student loans this way? And so we're having to, it's virtually the same thing. And so we're bringing the same claims against this slight variation of what they did the first time.
All right. Well, I thought the Supreme Court had the last word, but I guess the Biden administration changes all that.
You would think.
Attorney General Kris Kobach, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.